It's been a long time since I've been live. I just realised that I haven't been live for, God, I can't remember, since we went on a massive tech rollout. Um, I haven't got an agenda, so I just thought I'd just jump on because there's a couple of weird things that happened last week, and some really good things. And one of the good things that happened was MetaBee was at the installer show in Birmingham, NEC, representing with Waits. If you don't know Waits, they do construction, they do FM, they do retro, they do all sorts of stuff, but everybody knows them as sort of Waits, even though there's many parts to that. And we're an innovation partner to Waits, so we were on the stand. And I don't know if you've probably been to a trade show, but if you've ever been an exhibitor on a trade show, I think they're two very different things. So when you're attending a trade show to see what's about, see what's going on, it's great, really good. You can arrange to go, meet people there that you might not have seen or who are going. Have a coffee, go look at some cool stuff. Depending on what trade show you're at. For us, it was heavily laden towards plumbing, gas, that sort of thing, which in some ways is good for us, but in other ways it's not necessarily our target client market. But it was great to be representing, educating, so to speak, on some of the cool things that we're doing, and also what are some of the cool things the other innovation partners are doing as well for Waits. But if you're an exhibitor, it's knackering. It's tiring. I'm my personality type, if you're into that. I'm an INTJ, so introverted. And what that necessarily means, it doesn't mean that, you would think, why is an introvert doing this? But it doesn't mean that we sort of shy away and, don't want to talk to anyone. Preferably, that is better. But it's where we draw our energy. Whereas if you take John, my business partner, I don't know what personality type he is, but I know he's an extrovert. So he will draw his energy from other people, being around other people chatting, which is knackering for me. Good for him. Or bad for him when I don't want to play, but good for me when he doesn't talk to me. So I naturally draw my energy like that. So you can imagine when you're at a trade show for 3 days, and you're on constantly over those 3 days, it's knackering. But that was a good stuff. That was good. Funny story now. So we were invited to be a participant in Waits' 125-year anniversary. Great. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Really good venue, the Londoner in London. If you've ever been there, it's great. If you haven't ever been there, go. The Londoner in London Hotel, very fancy. I'm a simple man, so the digital toilets where you can sort of swipe your hand over the toilet and it opens and you can have a heated seat and clean yourself. All that stuff is great. I'm not going to lie. In my hotel room, when I found out the type of toilet I had, I sat on it for 20 minutes on my phone because the seat was warm. Take the guy out of Leeds, So the event was great. Really good. Good to hear the history, network, all that stuff. That's not the funny part. That was that's one of the good things. So fast forward the next morning, and myself and John going to breakfast. And the reason why we're going to breakfast at 6:30 is because we had to get up to Birmingham for the last day of the installer show. So we'll go to breakfast early and then we'll have breakfast. And we met at breakfast by far the most interesting person I have ever met in my life. He will remain nameless. But all I can say, he was American. And he was fascinating. The stories he told, bearing in mind, again, like I said, I'm an INTJ, so new people coming up to me and just chatting to me as loud as this gentleman did is always a bit of a whoa. But again, the Londoner, very posh. Very posh. You know, you're looking at about £500 a night minimum. That's minimum to stay there, and then you can get the suites at £2,500 a night and all that sort of stuff. So it's not just anybody that's sat there having their breakfast. Not that that's a problem, but you know what I'm saying in terms of the type of clientele that stay at those hotels. So we go to breakfast. It's beautiful. Beautiful marble everywhere. £40 each is breakfast, by the way. And for a northern lad, £40 for breakfast. I was expecting someone to feed it to me. That didn't happen. So anyway, £40 going to breakfast. Now I'm thinking, this isn't going to be a buffet, is it? How is this going to be a buffet? It can't be 40 quid for breakfast and it'd be a buffet. But it is a buffet, which I was surprised at. Fantastic. Beautiful pastries. You know, they're fresh. You can smell the freshness from them. Everything is cooked to perfection. White marble everywhere. It's like walking into the set of James Bond in Vegas on steroids. It is just beautiful. Quiet as well. Just a very, very subtle hint. Don't know what this is. Of a harp playing in the background. You know, that sort of stuff. So me and John walk in, dressed in our stuff that were on the standing. So we haven't got suits on now. We've got, you know, Meta B branded up t-shirts. So I thought, all right, that'll be all right. You know, we got jeans on and stuff like that. I know, but what can I do? As long as we don't go in and go, you know, being all loud and northern, we'll be okay. So on the way down to breakfast, we meet our interesting friend in the lift, and we chat. Obviously, the name Meta B sparks a conversation. What's that all about? Etc. Etc. So, and then we then say, "Oh, this is what it's about." He says some funny, interesting stories about being in London, and then we sort of part ways. It's sort of like the reception area. Me and John going to breakfast, sitting breakfast, and we hear our new friend come in, and it was like hearing a mega loud fart at the most inappropriate time. How loud our new friend was. So me and John are sat there going, oh God, we've met a friend. God. Sat there opposite myself and John looking at each other going, he's going to come and talk to us, isn't he? Lo and behold, our new friend, because we have kind faces, I've been told. Unless that's a different way of saying you've got a fat face. I don't know. You've got kind faces. So for 45 minutes, myself and John sat down, trying to enjoy our £80 between us breakfast, while at the same time stood here is our new friend, stood, which is the key point, stood. And then all around us, you've got everyone trying to enjoy their breakfast. And I mean, it's this quiet like I am now. It's that quiet. Maybe the odd chink of cutlery or a knife and fork on the plate. You know, it's dead quiet. And then our new friend begins to tell everyone, sorry, myself and John, but it may as well be everyone, about his, let's just say, exploits in London. And at first, I was absolutely mortified. I was sat there thinking, oh God, what if someone from Waits comes up and sits there? You know, what if a client sees it? I didn't know what to think. And it's loud. It's very loud, the conversation, and it is massively inappropriate is a conversation, and I mean massively. But then it was quite interesting, actually, because after about 10 minutes of dying of cringe, I sort of look round and no one's paying attention. Obviously, they can hear what's going on. You would have to be deaf not to hear what was going on. And the conversation's ongoing. And we're getting shown pictures of cars and other things. And in some point, I sort of looked at our new friend and thought, I'm so envious of you, because he had 0 filters. It was liberating to actually meet someone like that. I mean, maybe you've got a friend who is a little bit too loud and you go, oh, shut up, don't do that here. Our new friend here was next level. But he had a story to tell. He had a life story, and his stories were fascinating. Unfortunately, it's 4:30 in the afternoon and I can't tell you the stories he was telling us, but they were mind-boggling stories, full of cars, women, money, anything you can imagine. It is like a set of James Bond, what our new friend had to say. And we sort of had our conversation and then left. And then on the car, on the drive on the way back to NEC, I said to John, could you imagine what it'd be like if you were that filterless? I wonder what would happen. Now you imagine, you're watching this now or watching it back. You imagine being in a meeting and just saying what you want to say or what comes into your head. And I mean, you genuinely don't care. I mean, the friends that you would have left after you were like that, I would imagine some way appreciate the honesty. Everybody surrounds themselves with friends, but how many friends are going to be brutally and genuinely honest with you about something you're doing? And how many of you just tell you what you want to hear? So, and then we went on to finish the NEC, and that was great. Finished, which was good because I was knackered by the end of it. But I just wanted to just come on here. I'm done now. But just to say to our new friend, if you watch this or you are watching it, you are an inspiration to me. You've sort of like given me a spark to be a little more me, let's say, and a little less reserved. So again, you keep doing what you're doing. And if you ever are in the Londoner, any point soon over the next few days, what day is it today? 27th of June. So if you're watching this back, you might have missed our new friend. I believe he's still at the Londoner for the next few days. So go, enjoy. I can't tell you his name because I don't want to call him out, but you won't be able to miss him. Honestly, you will know him straight away. Just sit with him, have a chat. Try not to have too many filters on because he will smash through those. But just listen to his stories, and I guarantee 90% of it you will be mortified. But the little 10%, there are some little nuggets in there. So I guess it's a shout out to all the people who just don't care. I envy you. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a good day.